Welcome to Pause and Reflect, a great place to collaborate and share teaching and learning solutions. So you've been on this website and you've been looking and you see these wonderful resources that are here. For example, information on MOOCs, information on projects and assessments that your colleagues have uploaded, and all these wonderful resources that exist for the various courses. And you have decided that, you know what, I really would like to contribute. So, you want to be a contributor? Do you have a resource that you would like to share? For example, in mathematics, in science, in technology, in engineering, or the arts. Then contribute to Pause and Reflect. This short instructional video will show you how to do exactly that. It's simple, it's easy, and you will be helping your colleagues. So these are the steps to contribute to Pause and Reflect. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click Complete the Form, Contribute to Pause and Reflect. What you'll be doing is you will click on the tab that says Contribute, and then click on the link that says Complete the Form. It might ask you to log in, which is okay. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to log in, and that will let me continue to the contribution form. So we'll click Sign In. Here's the Pause and Reflect contributor form. The first thing you will notice is that everyone's welcome to share, and what you want to do is to download and complete the contributor template from this link. So what you're going to do is click on this link first. That will open up the template, and what you want to do is you want to download the template. It'll ask if you want to save a file. Depending on your browser, this may be done in different ways. My browser will ask me where I'm going to save a file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click OK to save this file. And then what I'm going to do is to go back and open that file. And okay, so I found where I've downloaded the Pause and Reflect contributor template. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to save the file as a custom name. I know what I want to upload. It's going to be a calculus project in this example. So what I want to first do is do a save as. Okay, so what we have is a Save As window here, and what you want to do is give it a name that is reflective of your project's name. What I'm going to do is just simply add to this Calculus Centroid, because that's what this project's about. And I'm going to do save. Okay, so as you can see, the file is saved. And what we're going to do now is we're going to answer these questions in this template. So I'll start with the resource name. It's the centroid of an eagle. Centroid of the eagle. And it's calculus project. Okay, so I've typed in the centroid of the eagle. There are other questions here for contributors, attribution, and so on. What you're going to do is read through each of those descriptions and answer all the questions. Then we'll talk about how to upload this template and all the associated files. So I've answered all my questions. As you can see, I gave a complete description. At the very bottom, I also gave the names of the downloadables. In other words, there are 2 files that I will be uploading in addition to this template file, which answered the questions. And also some search terms. If applicable, paste your contribution. You can definitely cut and paste your contribution if you'd like, or you can upload the files directly to Pause and Reflect. Let's go back to Pause and Reflect. So I just switched back to the contributor form. And one of the things that I remember as I was looking to submit the form, one of the things is as you're looking at your supporting files, you can also include a thumbnail image to go with your contribution. And I did that also. So looking at my files, it's going to be the calculus project, the centroid of the eagle, and also the centroid of the eagle project, which is an excerpt from a student presentation. Also currently the information form that I filled out for the contributor template, and also the thumbnail. So these are going to be the 4 files that I will be uploading to Pause and Reflect. So let's see how that goes. So let's see. Okay, name. Well, that's me. So you're going to put in your name, put in your email address. Department. You can choose your department. Math. Title of the resource. It's actually good to keep your document open Why you do this? Because you can just simply cut and paste, which is what I'm about to do. So I'm cutting and pasting. That's the name of my resource. Center of the Eagle Calculus Project. And the resource description, I'm also going to cut and paste straight from the contributor template. That is done. If your description has any equations or something, do your best to type it. Once it is submitted to Pause and Reflect, we will convert it back to an equation, and your Word document should have the math equation in it, and we'll be able to put the equation back into the posting. Okay, so what it is we want to select the type of resource this is. This is a project. So I'm going to select project. So click all that apply. The format I used as resources was in a face-to-face and hybrid course. Also, I used in my Math 230 class, so I'm going to click that one. If it's applicable to more than one course, click more than one checkbox. For example, there are some regression type of activities that have worked for me for both Math 09X and also 12X, so click what's applicable. Supporting files. So this is where you add the files. That's what I'm about to do. I'm going to select files from my computer, and I'm going to upload the Pause and Reflect contributor template. I can add more files. You can actually add them all at once too. I'm going to just do them in order. I'm going to do the thumbnail. Add some more files. I will also do the center of the eagle, and I will also do the, so that's the actual project itself, and then also an excerpt from a student presentation. And that's it. I'm going to upload now. So we're still waiting for one more file to upload. You do have a limit of 100 megabytes. And part of that is because these resources will be displayed on the page. So any file that gets way too big, it just won't display because it'll take forever to load. So that is why there is that size limit. Okay, the 4 files are uploaded. And remember this, what you are contributing to Pause and Reflect is an OER resource. That means you are freely sharing with others. And if you have questions about the licensing, please do read the Creative Commons license. So first of all, yes, this is my own work. Pause and Reflect may share, and others may use according to the way it is licensed. So this is OER, and read more about it if you want to know more details. So at this point, what we're going to do is submit. So I'm going to click submit. And that is all. If you have any changes you need to make, you just go back and edit your response. Or if you have a bunch of resources you want to upload and you've filled out this form for different resources and you want to do a bunch at once, you can of course submit another response. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you what the submission looks like after it's been uploaded and posted by one of the administrators. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take a look. It's been past 48 hours, and we're just going to take a look of what's happened since then. One of the administrators has worked on it and took my contribution that I wrote in that contributor template and has turned it into a post. So there's a couple ways to find that. One of them is, remember this, this particular example was a calculus resource. So you'll notice that this is highlighted. So what you can do is, it was a Math 230 project. So I could find it by looking for right there. And now you'll notice how this was posted. So the exact questions that I answered are exactly what's in the post. And you'll notice that the thumbnail image is what is appearing on top. And then exactly what I typed is exactly what was posted. The files that I had uploaded, so the contributor template turned into the post. The thumbnail image is the image that you see on top. And the other supporting files, if I click on any of these, will be available resource for colleagues. So there's the project. And if I go back to Pause and Reflect and I click on this other, you will see that is the excerpt of the student presentation. So that's how your contribution gets turned into a post that anyone then can search and find. It can also, because it's a project, they can also look at under a resource type as project, and that will also show up there, or face-to-face or hybrid. So any of those tags that you make, is a way to help search for it. Furthermore, if I were to type Math 230 or any of these search terms, this particular project will show up in a search. So for example, if I type balance point, which was one of the terms, and I do a search, you'll notice that this project does show up. So that's part of why we ask search terms, so that way other colleagues can find what it's based on. So there's multiple ways to find this resource on Pause and Reflect. So I hope you found this informational video helpful. We encourage you to contribute to Pause and Reflect. Have a great semester.